Here's a great question that if you ask yourself this, will help you get clear on what your purpose is. I got this question from Viktor Frankl's excellent book, Man's Search for Meaning. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Frankl was a Holocaust survivor who was actually kept at Auschwitz, which was the worst German internment camp. And his book is broken up into two sections. The first half is what he experienced at the camp, but the second half is his teachings of logotherapy, which is the form of therapy that he developed. And while reading the book, he asked this excellent question, which I think will really help you get clear on what your life purpose is. And the question is this: what is the work that only I can do? I'll say it again. What is the work that only I can do? Each of us has work that only we can do. We all have unique gifts, talents, capabilities, and capacities, and nobody can replace us. I know people want to think or try to make us think nowadays that everyone's replaceable, but you're not. There's certain gifts and things that only you can do. So ask yourself this question. You can meditate on it. You could write it down and write out what comes to you, or you could ponder it over for a few days. But what is the work that only you can do? Now, let's say, by the way, when I asked myself this question, for me, it was all these talks and all these recordings. I've read so much stuff by so many obscure authors and studied so many different forms of teachings that when I asked myself this question, I thought, you know what? I need to get this stuff out there. I'm one of the few people who knows about all these different forms of teachings. And if something happened to me tomorrow, that knowledge would unfortunately be gone. So I want to share everything that I know with you in the hopes that it improves your life. Now, let's say no answer comes up for you. The next step you could do is start to look towards your passions. What are you passionate about? A great way to find out what your purpose is just to see what you're really passionate about and then begin exploring that and see if that's something that you can turn into earning a living. By the way, you might have your passion and you might have your livelihood, and they might be two separate things. But if you can combine them, life can be really great. Now, if you don't have anything you're passionate about, I would ask myself, what am I curious about? I got this exercise from Stefan Arnio's excellent book, Hard Times Create Strong Men. And he asks the reader, what are you curious about? Oftentimes when we explore our curiosities, those lead to our passions, and that leads to our purpose. And sometimes you might not be able to jump full on into your purpose right away. That's okay. Create a side hustle for it if you can, or get so good at your current job, earn so much that you're able to become stable for a period of time so that you can use that money to transition into working your passion, so to speak, until that becomes your full-time job. So again, what is the work that only you can do? Answer this question and transform your life.